Hey guys, Alex here, or my YouTube name would be Wolf. Pretty much just putting my deck list out there because I built a deck and I started fixing it in order to play Type 2 Standard because, well, a lot of Nefarox cards are cycling out and everything, and M12. Not good for some zombie decks, but yeah, pissed off about Titan Cyclone. Anyways, that's not what I'm here for. I just want to get some opinions on cards and want to make sure I'm putting the right ones in. So, I'm going to start off with a Stromkirk Captain. So you can get a better view of him. He, I think, in my honest opinion, he's probably one of the best one-drops for the Type 2 Standard. I mean, he can't be blocked by humans, and whenever he deals damage to a player, that's an extra counter on him. Turn 1, that's fantastic. I mean, especially if they don't have anything. Unless you're playing against burn, then it's kind of useless. Because people tend to burn those things instantly. Yep, so the next card I have is Vexing Devil. Only have one of these, though. But I think he's good in there, because if you get him in your hand, then that's good. I mean, turn 1, you can just drop him down. It doesn't fit with the whole vampires theme, but I mean, hey, one mana for a 4/3, or that's 4 damage. They're 4 damage behind you if they decide to take the life. I think it's good early game as well as late game. A lot of people say it would be not so good late game, but if you're going at this huge epic battle and all of a sudden you can just drop down a 4/3 for 1 mana. That's one extra creature that's not some really tiny little dude. I mean, or they could just take the damage, but mostly by then they'd already be a bit lower on life for this against this deck. Another card I put in here, I don't know if it doesn't fit with the whole vampire theme, but again, I really like really awesome one-drops like Slumbering Dragon. He's from M13. He is a rare. You can see him right there. Now his whole thing is while he's a 3/3 flying for 1 mana, his catch is he can't attack unless he has 5 or more +1/+1 counters. Now the good thing about that, I think it's fantastic for token decks because you know they're pecking at you with their little flyers the whole time, or their 1/1s. It's not whenever an opponent attacks, it's whenever creatures attack, so 3 or 4 turns this thing's going to be up and going. Unless the opponent's smart and decides to not attack you. But I mean, get a couple of those out and you have 8/8 flyers going around all of a sudden. Essentially call in the cavalry. I don't know. I don't know if I should have it in there, but takes up space until something better comes along, takes up that 1-drop. And something I can afford, because I can't seem to find anybody being reasonable about their Vexing Devils. Another card I have in here, Dark Impostor. Since this deck doesn't have Titans, there's no reason for it to have Titans. I decided to do something else better with 6 mana. Dark Impostor, it's 3 mana for a 2/2. The thing that it does, though, is you can exile a target creature and put a +1/+1 counter on Dark Impostor. Which means, goodbye Avacyn, goodbye Grizzlebrand, goodbye any freaking giant 2020 indestructible, whatever. Gone. On top of the fact that it gets exiled, she also gains its abilities. My girlfriend, this is her deck, so she was playing this against me. Quicksilver deck, and I've dropped down Ulamog, and I was like, oh, I'm fantastic. You know, there's nothing she's going to do. And then all of a sudden, Dark Impostor, 6 mana. Now my guy has Annihilator 4, and he's indestructible. I thought that was pretty good. I mean, heck, for 3 mana, just having it sit on the side, kind of. It's good backup for if you don't have a kill spell on hand. Another card I put in here, I think it's pretty much, I don't care if anybody says I shouldn't have it. I should probably have it in here. I have 4. Vampire Nighthawk. 3 mana for a 2/3 flying lifelink death touch. Enough said. if somebody thinks I shouldn't have it in here, then you can go ahead and attempt to convince me not to keep it in here. And the other 3-drop that I have in here, he's red-black, Stromkirk Captain. I think he's pretty good. Gives +1/+1 to my vampires as well as first strike to them. So that's goes well with a Bloodline Keeper as well. I mean, I have 4 of these. I think they're pretty much staple. These guys are pretty much, I think, staple of the entire deck. Like, I've got to have them in there, or else my vampires are just going to be little... I might as well be playing tokens and Intangible Virtue and stuff like that. Alright, another card that I have in here is Falkenreath Aristocrat. I don't know what you guys have an opinion about this. I think it's good for... It's just one of the good 4-drops that are in here, just floating around for a vampire. I mean, 4/1 haste, sacrifice a creature, make her indestructible. It's pretty good. I mean, and if it's a human, you get a +1/+1 counter. I'd say that's pretty worth the mana. And, alarm going off there, sorry. And, okay. Yeah, it's one of my other 4-drops. And then, of course, I have Olivia in here. She's the legendary vampire. Gotta have her. I mean, 1 colorless, 1 red to deal 1 damage to a creature and then get +1/+1 counter on her. And if you're playing against vampires and you have 5 mana just sitting around, and you don't have any creatures or something, you might as well take control of one of your opponent's vampires. You know, she's fantastic, she's pretty, she's scary, she's got that whole Evanescence look going. Kind of Gothic Vengeance. Fuck Twilight kind of look. Anyways. Don't really have any fatties in this deck. The only one I put in here, again, another creature out of vampire theme, is... What's his name? Nefarox, Overlord of Grixis. He is from M13. I put him in here, A, because he's shiny. I'm just kidding, no. Because he's legendary, and legendary for good reason. He gets exalted, as well as when he attacks by himself, he essentially has Annihilator 1 for your opponent's creatures. So that's a standard Annihilator 1, which is pretty good. I mean, you just swing and your opponent has to sacrifice a creature before anything even happens. He's like that one zombie assassin, the black-blue something or other, where your opponent has to sacrifice a creature, except he has to attack by himself. I don't know, just pretty much want your guys' opinion on this card as well. I mean, keep it, not keep it, replace it with something like a kill spell, I don't know. And I also put some Thunderous Wraths in here. Only 2, because I think they're good for when you draw them. Like it's when you draw them, and nothing bad's gonna come out of it. It's a miracle card. Avacyn Restored has a lot of them, and, well, I'm not aware of if there are any black miracles, but yeah, Thunderous Wrath's pretty cool, because one, you just happen to pull it up, 1 mana, 5 damage. I would not keep this in my opening hand, that would be retarded. But, yeah, I think these main cards are... I've just been holding them up, just want to get some opinions on them. Using them for a Type 2 standard deck. Not super competitive, just something I can use at Friday Night Magic. And, yeah. Oh, also, I want to know about Blasphemous Act, what you guys think about it. It's 1 mana and 1 red and 8, and it costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. It's a good field wiper just in case somebody brings out something big and you don't happen to have any Dark Impostors. And I mean, heck, if there are 3 creatures on your side and then 3 creatures on their side, it's like 3 mana to cast. It's a 3 mana field wiper. I think it's pretty cool. And, yeah, that's pretty much about it. Of course, I got my dual lands. Zendikar land. Yeah, so go ahead, my name's Alex. Go ahead, just write down there, or type whatever. just comment, and yeah.